welcome guys. We are just about to get started. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome absolutely everybody to the 90 minutes of Splash Francorchamps at the Racing Sim Rings World Series. Round 1, we are absolutely beaming and excited to be here for you guys. The lads, TM, out in force. Give us a shout if you're in the YouTube chat or on Twitch. We'd love to hear you guys. Give us a wayo. As always, I'm joined by the venerable Craig King. Craig, how are we?
Venerable? Oh, I like that word. Oh, I'm doing good. Good evening. We're home. We're at Spa, and this RSR World Championship is gonna be fantastic tonight. I love this. It's also very interesting. A bit of a change has happened over the last 7 days in the league. Just to let a few people know that may or may not have known, for those unaware of the league. There have been some updates to the GT3s, so the league decided to just allow the drivers to have a feeler, and if they wanted to change the cars because of all the changes that happened, they were allowed to, and a few have taken them up on that. I see a few McLarens and a few Mercedes this week. No, there were McLarens last week. I see a few Mercedes this week and a few more Audis. So looks to be an interesting scenario going forward.
Absolutely. And there's a very special car out there. A few very special cars out there. They are running the Radeon TV livery. How about that?
We've made it! You know, it's "Hi Mum, I'm on TV." No, it's "Hi Mum, I'm on a racing car."
I think that should be the tagline, just on the back bumper. "Hi Mum, I'm on the Radeon TV broadcast."
I thought the tagline was "Hey Tanner, how's Radeon?"
That will be it for tonight. You know, "Hey Tanner, how's Radeon?"
we do apologise if we mess up the corners, but it's a pretty easy track to get right, so we should be all right. Just a rundown of how qualifying will work. They've all done some practice laps, and qualifying is going to be the reverse of your practice laps. So the slowest driver at practice will qualify first, and will go out first, and they'll be going out in small batches, do their 2 laps, and then come straight back in. So we're looking at about a 30-minute session for qualifying. Should be fun. So in theory, I don't have race director muted at the muted, because if I start talking and he starts, I lose my thought process. In theory, car 44 Mick Anderson will be the first car out on the track, and yeah, look at that. And he's in the Radeon TV car.
Yes, he is. And he's also got the sponsor for the series. So the series itself is sponsored by Racing Sim Rings, bringing the race home. they've got some very good racing sim rings that are 80/20 compatible, and they are made by a man who's actually participating in the series itself this week. And I'm sure that we can pull him in at some stage and have a word about, you know, his family-run business. It is a family-run business, so good to see family-run businesses doing their thing and making quality sim rigs for you guys. So go check them out at Racing Sim Rigs.
Definitely, it's always nice to see family-run businesses. I was in a family-run business at one stage, so I know what it's like. It's really cool, and it's also nice just to see just people just making a lot of sim stuff for people. It's not like a big company making stuff for sim racers. It's the little guys. You know, you've got your Niels Huiskenveld, you've got the sim racing machines from Simon Maltby, and you've got this now with rigs as well. So it's nice to see the little guys helping everybody out. And well, we also are the little guys, and we're helping the big fishes out with the RSR World Series. So a nice little throw in there as well. So should be interesting. Also, just I need to stress this. It's the endurance pit layout tonight, so that means the start-finish line is down the straight before Radion, and that means we have the long pit lane. You can do a drinking contest if someone does hit the wall.
We have actually updated the board, by the way, so during the qualifying session you will see the top 25 in the standings. And we will also go over the entire board once the qualifying session has ended. It will not last for an hour. It will last for as long as necessary to get these cars qualify. So we'll be starting within, I think it's about 13 minutes is the prospective time that we will start this race, as we are on board with Mick Anderson in the number 44 car. One of the first cars to go out on track.
Sorry, I just wanted to interject there. Car 49, Simon Dodd, just had a huge moment at, where is that? That looks like it's Pujon. Just actually lost the car. The car just sorted out, and he took quite a whack on the inside wall there, Pujon. So he's got to now do his lap's gone. So he's now going to do one lap with a damaged car. And that'll be his qualifying lap for the 90 minutes. So that's going to be an issue for him because he can't pit. He has to do these 2 laps. So it'll be interesting to see how much speed he's lost and how much steering he's lost, really. Because that looks pretty bad. How much is he going to be affected for his last lap?
He shouldn't be too affected. Well, I'm trying not to curse him. You know, as the legend goes, if we utter his name, he will be cursed for 3 days.
Oh, are we like that now, are we? Are we now like mythology? Do not speak of our name.
Don't speak of the name, otherwise the name will be cursed.
I like it. So who have we got at the moment? We've got Simon Dodd, we've got Jack Hills, we've got Isaac Barkley, Carl Jockey, Niels Backage, Mark Bailey. At the moment, they've set their first laps. Niels Backage, Bulkage, sorry, not back, Bulkage, the only pro driver in this group, I believe, with a 2:18.581. Second at the moment is Chris Hammer with a 2:19.076. So the early trend at the moment looks like the 18s will be the time really you want to get into if you want to be near the front of the field.
By the way, guys, give us the feedback on the standings or the qualifying standings board. Reach for that number 1 spot. You know, you've got this, guys. You only have to beat Niels Bachaj with a 2:18.582 as we are on board with Niels going up through Radion, the correct name for that corner that he just went by. Past Kemmel onto the Kemmel Straight. Coming up towards Lake Coombe, he would want to beat his 2:18.582. He's going on.
Are
a
you
screamer.
not on live? I don't think you're on live. He's now.
I am not on live.
He is now coming through what they apparently is now called double gouge, but it's Pujon. It will always be Pujon to me.
It's not gouge, it's gauche.
Gauche. No, it's Pujon to me. I don't care what anybody says. Until it frangs. this tricky right-left, which you don't take the apex on the first part, and then you take the apex on the second part, down into campus and Stavlot. This is a lovely corner campus here. Take as much curve as you want. Can't take too much curve on the exit. Into Stavlot, and now he comes onto the Blanchemont straight. This long straight high speed. Now I believe the GT3s can still take Blanchemont flat out. So let's just see what he does here as he approaches it now. Going 250.
He lifts.
He only lifted about a little bit. He went down to 240 km/h, so not too bad. Brakes hard for the chicane, otherwise known as always the bus stop to me. Brakes hard, don't hit the sausages, get a nice angle for that exit. He's going to speed along now. What will his time be as he finishes his 2 laps? It's better, it's a 2:17.988. That is miles ahead at the moment. Almost a second as Isaac Barkley with the 2:18.870 is in the pits.
Go on, Nils. He was diving off to the inside, so he has now parked the car. By the way, there was 2 pros in the list. Jack Wells is the second, so it was 2 pros and 8 amateur drivers.
And he's just set his second lap a 2:19.876, so not the best of times there for Jack. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage, I'm not entirely sure, but that's good enough for 8th place at the moment. But with Nils setting the time here of a 2:17.988, you won't see a lot of drivers going to 2:17s, I don't think. We'll have to wait and see. But he's in a good spot for a top 10 for the start of the race.
Unless somebody else dethrones him now. So currently, as it stands, as the next batch of cars go onto the track, your leader at the moment is Niels Bocage with a 2:17.988. Isaac Barkley with a 2:18.871. Isaac putting in a very good lap, but he is just under a second behind Niels.
Oh, the Kurth boy's coming out. The Kurth boy's coming out, the 00. The Manatee Ford of Joshua Meyer is coming out to set his lap. Also at the same time, just because we got to focus on others, Harry Wills, James Costa, Matt Heatrick, Ingo Lapson, Tom Johnson, Sebastian Rain, Andrew Miller, Stefan Kurtzman, and Martin Pearson are out on the track. And I've read them in reverse, as Martin Pearson will be the first car, as it stands, to set his times.
I'll continue through the list now of the currently qualified cars. It is Chris Hamer with 2:19.077, Mick Anderson with a 2:19.236. Shout outs to Manatee in the chat, Debbie Brownie, sorry, giving love to his fellow Manatee racer. Jack Hills with a 2:19.514, Mark Bailey, with a 2:19.577, Carl Jacquelet with a 2:19.8689, Jack Wells 2:19.877 as before, Josh Seymour 2:19.893, and then we start with the 220s, Chris Miles with a 2:20.012, and then finally the last qualified car is a 2:20.553.
Yeah, there was a couple other cars that were out after Meyer, John Hoggard and Ryan Elliott, and Elliott was in front, but just had a moment at Brussels, where he lost the car, lightly tapped the wall in the gravel, still with the cold tyres. I think he's all right. This track is 21 Celsius today. That's 70 Fahrenheit for the people who use the other formats. It's cold. It's safe to be said. It is cold out there today. So these warm-up laps are really going to be tough because you want to go hard. You want to get everything right. And yeah, Elliott right now in front of him is Hoggard. And Hoggard has slowed down, not for slipstream purposes, but they're not doing that. It's mainly so he can get his tyres warmed up. In fact, he may just pull off. Hello, a little bit confusing there. Yep, he's fine. But yeah, just to warm his tyres up there, it looks like for Hoggard.
Don't we have a spec map for the Ford? I have put it in. I might have to refresh it. I will do that at the end of qualifying, sir. Thank you very much for reminding me.
I think we were aware of it beforehand, and we are sorting that out. But you know, teething problems. It's just looking at what we've got out on the track at the moment. It's a Ferrari It's an Audi. It's another Ferrari. It's an Audi. It's another Audi. Another Ferrari. 2 more Ferraris. 2 more Audis. A Ford out of nowhere. And then 2 Ferraris who have just started their lap. So, where's the Mercedes? Where's the McLarens, I hear you ask? Well, patience. Patience, young Padawan. They are coming. Don't worry. Quite interesting. Everyone in this group of setting their qualifying at the moment are all amateurs in the amateur series. So, this is actually quite, maybe at the back of the field, but it's quite an important set of qualifying. As well, actually, it's almost like the Formula E, where, I don't know if you've seen Formula E, where the top drivers go out first at the start qualifying, so they've got the green track. Well, when all these guys qualify, at the end, the guys are going to have tired in track and should have a little bit more grip, but it won't be the biggest of advantages, but it will help a lot.
Well, it depends if you want a green track or not. You know, some cars respond better to a track with grip on it, but you also don't want too much tarmac on the track. You'll get pebbles then, and pebbles can upset the car.
Yeah, right. But to say Martin Pearson setting his lap, it's a 19.200. So what about the car behind him, which I cannot find now? That's Ingo Lapsian. He set a 19.102. Behind him is Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller sets a P15, time now P16, a 2:21.362. Matt Heatrick goes to P7. Harry Wills takes pole position, 17.599. That is the key thing there. Harry Wills, the amateur driver in the Audi there, takes pole, and Joshua Meyer in the Ford, a 2:18.483, goes to P3.
An absolutely blistering lap from him as he comes up through Riley on to Kemmel Straight. He is 0.4 of a second faster than Niels Bocage. We were saying that Niels had a really good lap, and then Harry Wills just comes in and says,
"Oh, and John Hoggard's just come in and said hello." John Hoggard, I forgot there was a pro. Sorry, John Hoggard, a 2:17.683, goes ahead of Niels. I mean, we thought a 2:17.988 was a great placeholder right there, and we thought that'd be well. He's just been overtaken by 2 cars, and I have to say a little shout out to the Ford. I think it's the only Ford in the series still. It likes big, long, fast tracks because it's got the top acceleration. So in some respects, this may suit the Ford being at Spa for 90 minutes. He might get I would say the bit of an advantage. He will get an advantage because of that, but it's still the same. You've got to get around this track safely for 90 minutes. That's not an easy task.
I mean, it's not an easy task given even during our ILMS series laps, which were 60 minutes. This goes on for a toasty 90 minutes. No breaks. You got to be in the car for 90 minutes with 1 pit stop.
Harry Wills has just gone off, so he had an off track. He had an off track coming out of Stavlots, so he knows he won't go faster. So that's okay. John Hoggard has a blinking Ryan Elliott in front of him, and that's going to be a little bit of slipstream. Not sure if intentional or not, but Ryan Elliott there. What did Ryan Elliott set in his first time? A 2:23.131. Yeah, he's disappeared again. Where is he?
Sebastian Rain, by the way, just crossed the line. Oh, you're still here. You're still here.
Oh no, I meant Ryan Elliott. Where is he? He's disappearing every now and then. He's just blinking in and out. But we'll see.
We'll get a flashlight on his car and we'll see if he's a ghost or not. But he's still there. He's still on my screen. Ryan Elliott's just gone past Stavvolt. Oh, he just blinked again. Coming up through Blanchimont.
John Hoggard had to lift before going through Blanchimont. So, and he's hit the brakes. Has he just decided to scrap this lap? He has. So, yeah, he's pulled off before the bus stop. So he will stay P2. He will not go any faster.
Let's see what Ryan Elliott can do. He did a 2:23. Let's see if he can better that. Waiting for it to update. He does not. He doesn't. He stays P22 at the moment.
We haven't got any cars out on the track now, do we?
No,
So
we do have them going onto track now. So the next batch of cars are going onto track. So the big names that have just popped up through that session is Harry Wills, who set a blistering lap of 2:17.599. But John Hoggard, right on his heels, only a tenth of a second behind him with a 2:17.684. Absolutely blistering lap from him.
great lap there from Mill. Even the top, in that session, 3 of the top 4 are now was set from that session. Right now, we have the Ferrari of Adam Miles in the Pro Series. Not the Audi, sorry, the Ferrari. The Ferrari of James Pearson, the amateur. The Ferrari of Neil Butler, amateur. The Audi of Jonas Dreyer, an amateur. Another Ferrari, Christian Furtz, another amateur. Van der Wedge in the BMW, the pro driver. Louis Eggleston, another pro driver in the Audi. Ben Smith, an amateur driver in the Ferrari. Tristan Iglesias, pro driver in the McLaren. Mercedes. Sorry, I got it right the first time. Mark Sonderman in the Audi, and Marius Janke, who is definitely a McLaren. I got it right that time.
You gotta. Do we get the names right this time? That's the main question. Do we get the names right?
No, that Jonas Dreyer just spun. It spun at Pujon, sorry, and almost collected the wedge there. So that was a close moment. That's probably like the third car we've seen go off at Pujon during the warm-up laps. So, I mean, do we expect to see more? Of course, this is cold tyres on their outlap, but very interesting to see, I must admit.
Oh, and you see that car number 5 going off, and the wedge basically just a parting of the seas there as he goes past them. Now, let's see what this Z4 can do. He's my personal favorite car, so no bias here. Do a good lap.
No, I agree with you.
The car 64, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I think there's another BMW, but you're the first one out, so we're gonna watch you. We love you as he comes around the start straight. I'm not sure what to expect from the BMW at Spa. I must be honest. I don't think it suits the car. It's always been a car that's good for like free-flowing, trail-breaking stuff and sweeping corners, if I remember correctly. So could be interesting. Not gonna lie. And he's a pro driver, so are we looking at a top? I think we're looking at a top 10 here. Are we looking at a 217? Maybe.
Well, let's just hope, though. As he comes up through Radion, full pedal to the metal. You can hear the wail of the engine as he comes past Camel Bend onto the Camel Straight. Usually these cars at full tilt will go at about 260 k's before they brake. The wedge just reaching 258 on the clocks. As he goes into the braking zone, you use the white line, the white stripe, just before Les Combes. Use that as your braking point in a lot of cars. The LMP1s are no exception, and the GT3s also use it as their braking marker. It's a good marker to have because even though it might, get pretty dark in certain sections with the amount of rubber that's on the track, it will still survive. You can look to your right as you look for your braking zone, brake, and get a nice clean entry into Les Combes 1 and 2. Then on to Malmedy. Sorry, I had to look down because I had to reread it. I thought it said marmalade for a second.
Oh dear. That's a great corner combination, though, Les Combes, and he's coming up now to Les Fangs. And I was saying earlier, no, he's not there. He's gone past it now. He's at Campus and he's at Stavlon. I was saying Les Fangs after you do Pujon is such a tricky corner combination because I mentioned it earlier very quickly. The first corner of that almost like stretched out chicane, or like an S really, is you don't take the apex until the very last moment. And then you got to get as much apex as you can for the second part of it. And it's such a tricky combination. It's a bit of a Tokyo drift there, Wedge. Was it a little bit there? Takes a lot of curb at the bus stop. And we are curious to see what times he does step. Butler goes 7th in front of him. Van Wedge will do a 2:17.563. It's enough for pole. That surprises me.
I wish I had like I wish I had the paddock view. And Egerston goes pole after the Wedge sets a pole lap. Now Wedge will know he's just been taken off the top spot, off a pole position for the race, so he is going to try and put in another blistering lap. He only needs to find 1/10 of a second, but I think he wants to find a lot more. He's got the slipstream of the car ahead of him, the number 16 of Neil Butler.
Yeah, also just going down the line, Iglesias went P5, the first Mercedes on the track, a 2:17.937. Furtz as well, he went 7th at 2:18.233. I'm just trying to see anybody else. Ben Smith, 11th, 2:18.588. Dreyer did not set a time there, must have had an either. By the looks of it, he had an off track there, so he has one more lap to try and get it all together. Is there anybody else? Iglesias has gone over. Sonderman, that's Mark Sonderman there, is P9 at the moment. He set a 2:18.503, and Marius Janke is P12, and he set a 2:18.621 in the first McLaren to go around for qualifying.
Woo, McLaren, woo! But the big news is that there is representation from Mercedes coming around this track. It will be 1 or 2 at the moment. There was free transfers, as I said before. There was free transfers up until midnight last night to switch cars for free without incurring a 50-point penalty. And that was done by a few teams. I think 1 or 2... No, sorry, not a few teams. Sorry, 1 or 2 individual drivers. And one of them is participating today, so we'll get to see when he goes out on track, or unless he's already set a time, in which case, awkward.
Right, here they come now to set their laps. Butler will cross the line first. Will he improve? He does not improve, but Van der Wedge does improve. It's a 2:17.467. Egerson comes around the line right now. It is a 2:17.384, so anything Wedge can do, Egerson can do better. Ben Smith improves to a 2:18.137, and Dreyer goes at 2:18.035. So he makes up time as well. Now there are other cars going by. Iglesias is still P5. What does the Iglesias do? Well, he actually set P5, sorry. 2:17.771. Sonderman goes behind him, a 2:17.833. And I don't think Janka set a faster time. He's still P14 with a 2:18.621. In fact, no, it wasn't a valid lap.
So, that last qualifying, the big names, Egerston and De Wedge, both setting lap times within a split second of each other. De Wedge initially gaining first position, and then Egerton, I think that's how you say it, came back and said, "No, I'm having first position, boy." And then Wedge said, "I just took first position back." Egerton, "No, you don't."
I'm going to be the fastest lap. No. Just simply like that.
I'm going to be the fastest lap. No, I'm going to be the fastest lap. Haha, I've got the fastest lap. Oh, really?
So we've got one car out at the moment, the number 77 Ferrari of Pascal Radshorn. That's a pro driver, so I think we've got some pros starting now. Car 70, Adam Cristo, another pro driver in his Mercedes. Oh, that's a nice Mercedes. Look, it's a Deutsche Post livery. As a mailman myself, I've got to applaud that. I'm sorry, I've got to applaud another postal service. So, come on, Deutsche Post livery. Come on, Adam Cristo.
Is that because you're a postman?
Behind him, though, is a very interesting car. Car number 6, Harry Woodhead. Now, what is that by his name this week, Robert?
I don't want to comment on it. We made a mistake of thinking he was an amateur in the last race. Harry Woodhead.
Yeah?
He's not. He's a driver. He's an actual driver in real life.
So we made the mistake, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Wow. Wow.
We had I was cheering him on. I was like, Harry Woodhead.
We were both cheering him on.
He was blasting it out there, and then our little hearts were broken when suddenly we just didn't get it right.
All right, let's change the subject so we don't feel more depressed. Liam McNish is also out, the Manatee pro driver. in an Audi. So we've got 2 Ferraris, a Mercedes, and an Audi out at the moment. Is that all we've got? Yeah, that's the only 4 we've got. Who are Oscar Copper, pro driver in the car number 69 in the McLaren is now out, but that's a big gap, I must be honest. But Radshawn will start his lap right now, and then about 20 seconds behind him will be Cristo. So not sure what's happened there with the gaps, but yeah, they'll make it work. We're down to our last few cars anyway, our last 20 drivers.
By the way, Harry just reminded me of a very important name. As Harry blinks, there he is. Harry has reminded me of a very important name. Adam. And guess what his last name is? Craig?
Oh, Christophe Dulu.
Yes. He will be participating in this series. He is officially signed up to perform in the RSR WS series, and we are absolutely excited to have him on. Amongst these guys, there's several pro drivers out there, and Wayne Drury just reminded me, John Hoggard is also a real-life pro driver for, I think it's British F3, and he also participated in the Daytona 24 Hours.
We must mention as well Adam Christodoulou, who is actually running as Adam Cristo, as we were mentioning earlier. He is a former 24 Hours of Nürburgring winner. He also has 5 other 24-hour championships to his name. I'm not sure of them at the top of my head, I must be honest. But he is still relatively new to sim racing. But he, you know, as we've seen during the whole quarantine with these pro drivers, what you learn in a race car in real life, it just picks up straight away on a simulator like iRacing. So he should really be okay getting down head first into the ocean. Instead of diving at the deep end, he's gone to the deepest area of the ocean in the world and just gone down. That's what it feels like, and he's just fine. So we'll be interested to see what he does. Now, Radshawn, he is coming over to cross the line for his first lap. The 2:17.767. That puts him P5. Quite a gap there, I must be honest. Rick Cohen, I did not see him out. I did not see him come out. I must apologise. In the weird livery Ferrari, crossing the line right now, and he sets a invalid lap. Okay.
Let's see what Cristo does when he comes across the line. The light's blinking on the front of the car. He has set a 2:17.250, and that was his first qualifying lap. He's about to set his second, so already he's put his foot of authority down.
Well, we've got Harry Woodhead here right now. We've got Harry Woodhead, and he's going to now respond really with that from that 2:17.250. He's going to cross the line. It's a 2:17.934. That puts him P10. Who else is about to cross the line? Liam McNish is coming down Blanchemont right now under the Bridgestone line.
He's flashing us. He knows he's on the air. He just flashed us. Hi, Adam. Hi, Adam.
A little bit of a twitch hitting the sausages at the bus stop there. Probably a low 2:17, I would say. No, I cannot tell a lap time. It's P2, a 2:17.375. Brilliant time there from him. Now we've got Linus Tech now, sorry, about to set a time. What does he set in the McLaren? He will cross the line, and I think that's an invalid lap. It's an invalid lap, yes.
So the cameras are still trained on Cristo. I want to see how... Oh, I think he might have made an invalid lap. He went very wide in Pujon.
Oh, no. That's definitely an invalid lap. Yep. There's no very wide about that. We know the track limits of Spa is very interesting, but practically you've got to make sure your tyres are inside the red and white curves. You cannot use the runoff there, so that's definitely an off track there. So he will not set a faster time.
Bet you £5 he still sets a lap. As in, it'll still be valid though. Not just that he went wide, it'll be valid as well.
Radshawn has set his final lap, a 2:17.671, puts him P6. So now we just wait for the next car. So we know, here comes Rick Cohen. Is that Rick Cohen setting a time? It is Rick Cohen setting a time. It's P10 with a 2:17.867. Matsuke is in front of him. Where does Matsuke come? Has not set a time. Cristo, we know, just not set a time. Woodhead will be the next driver really to keep an eye out for. McNish is 25 seconds behind him, but he's coming down now under the Bridgestone sign. Going to hit the brakes at the dirt mark here for the bus stop. In the interest, oh, he's gone wide at the bus stop. Wide at the bus stop.
Very wide.
It. That's going to be half a second lost here. What is his time going to be? I don't think it's going to be faster than a 2:17.934. He comes around at a 2:19.156. So he will start P12 provisionally at the moment. McNish is now coming down. Same situation under the Bridgestone bridge. Hitting the dirt mark. Around the bus stop. Now, this is how you do it. Could have been tighter, but that's a clean way of doing the bus stop. He's already got a 2:17.375. What's he going to do? Was that a little bit wide? Not sure. Invalid lap.
He slid coming out of Stavolt. So I think he hit the off track just there, but he just kept going around just to finish the lap. And
Stump. Malt Stump goes pole. And Linus Tech now goes pole, almost breaking the 2:16 barrier. So Stump hits a 2:17.202, and Tech now responds with a 2:17.041. And we thought that Cristo Dulu set a really fast time. And then two guys that aren't even pro drivers they're not real life drivers, sorry, have just responded big time. And I think now the next guy to look at is car number 8, last week's first race winner in the Audi, Tim Matsuke, is coming around Blanchimont.
And all you can hear is the wail of his trusty Audi R8 LMS coming around Blanchimont, coming into the bus stop. They call this the chicane, by the way. I have no idea why. But Linus Tech now battling it with Malt Stumpf and Adam Cristo. So there's...
No, they don't anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. Matsuke just smashed the pole time. 2:16.513. We were talking, are they going to break the 2:16s a moment ago? Matsuke's just decided he's going to knock that down with a sledgehammer. That's a lap and a half. And he's still got a second lap.
Half a second ahead of everybody else on the track right now. Unless Linus is still out there, he can still do a reply. I'm not sure if he is. He is still out on the track, so Linus has to make up half a second somewhere. How
about Stump? Stump has to make 3/4 of a second now. Coming around the bus stop. I'm a little bit stunned at that pole time by Matsuke.
I was about to make a joke. I was a bit stumped by that.
All right, Stump. What have you got in your invalid lap? And now we look at Linus. Now we look at Tech now. What does he do? Oh, talk about consistency. It's a 2:17.055. Practically almost the same time. He will not go faster. Current P5 at the moment is Archie Forsyth. Yeah, Forsyth. He's coming around. He's P5 with a 2:17.350. We'll come around the bus stop now. And we've got a few more qualifiers left to come, so Matsuke still isn't safe. What will Forsyth do as he crosses the line? It's going to be faster. 2:17.279 does not change his position, and let's just watch Matsuke. I mean, do we need to see anything else?
No, I just want to see how much he can go, how much faster he can go. I can't even speak right now. I'm dumbfounded by how quick he is compared to everybody else. He smashes everybody else by at least half a second. Tekna did not set a very consistent lap, but did not give a reply. So this is just basically bragging rights for Matsuke now. Let's see what he can do.
Oh, come on. He goes faster. 2:16.361. He's extended his time by almost 3/4 of a second from P2. And the last car's out now. We've got Tom Johnson, Simon Dodd, Adam Miles, Simon Marshall, and Taylor Lane have still yet to set a time. But there's no way.
Some of them have already been out. I think they just haven't set a lap time. So I think it's time that we, as commentators, catch our breath and Tim Matzke's lap. What an absolute lap that was. And we will go over the qualifying times, I think.
Oh, hang on. Marshall's driving out. I know that these guys are still... What's going on at the moment? I don't have race chat enabled, but Marshall is going out for his lap. Yeah, no. So we do have one car going out. That's about it. So
we will then go over the rest of the cars then, because we have cars that have qualified. Let's just go over them now, shall we?
Yep. So I will start off with the top 10 at the top 10 as we stand at the moment. Pole position: Tim Matzke, the pro driver, with a 2:16.361. Behind him is everybody in the 2:17s. In the P2, Linus Technow, another pro driver, 2:17.041. Malt Stumpf with a 2:17.202 takes P3. With Adam Christolofdulu with a 2:17.250. Archie Forsyth, a 2:17.279. Liam McNish, a 2:17.375. Louis Eggleston with a 2:17.384. Van der Wedge or Van der Weege, I gotta check that, a 2:17.467. Oscar Copper, a 2:17.501. And then P10, the fastest amateur driver, Harry Wills with a 2:17.599.
Going from 11th to 20th is Pascal Radschun with a 2:17.671. John Hoggard with a 2:17.684. Very good lap from him. Tristan Iglesias with a 2:17.771. Mark Sonderman with a 2:17.833. Rick Cohen is the next amateur to qualify, is 2:17.867. Christian Furs, 2:17.932. Harry Woodhead, who broke my heart, 2:17.935. Nick Buckage with a 2:17.988. Then we have Jonas Dreyer with a 2:18.036. Ben Smith with a 2:18.138. James Pierce with a 2:18.383. Josh Mayer with a 2:18.483. So the cursed has done well. Then we go down, and down. James Costa with 2:18.563. Marius Jank with a 2:18.622. Ingo Lapshin with a 2:18.628. Neil Butler with a 2:18.635. Then we have Stefan Kurzman with a 2:18.697. Isaac Barkley with a 2:18.871. Martin Pearson, 2:18.894. Tim is definitely OP. Sebastian Rain with a 2:19.063. Chris Hamer with a 2:19.077. Rick Heatrick with a 2:19.225. Mick Anderson with 2:19.236. Jack Hills with a 2:19.514. We get down to the brass tacks of Mark Bailey with a 2:19.577. Carl Jacala with a 2:19.689. Sorry. Andrew Miller with a 2:19.751. Jack Wells with a 2:19.877. And down we go to Andrew Miller, Jack Wells, both we just listed. Josh Seymour, 2:19.893. Chris Miles with a 2:20.012. James Goldstange. I'm sorry, I just butchered that. 2:25.53, and finally Ryan Elliott was the last to qualify. 2:23.132.
Yep, in the order, the last five cars. Sorry, I was right the first time. Adam Miles will take P43. Tom Johnson will take P44. Taylor Lane will take 45th. Simon Marshall will take 46th, and Simon Dodd will be at the back of this line in 47. That's right, 47 cars are going to be driving around Spa for 90 whole minutes. Just a very taxing 90 minutes. Like we said before, you go to ILMS, it's an hour-long race on your own. You do IMSA, it's a 45-minute race. Well, if you combine the two of them, you kind of get the idea. With Matsgate coming up now, to the chicane. We are about to get ready.
And it's a very short one, this. It's the endurance style track layout, so they will be go, go, go as soon as they come all the way around and go across the start-finish line on the opposite side of the track. You can see there are many missiles ready to go. The missiles will push the accelerator as soon as the car number 8, Tim Matzke, gives them the go. The green flags will wave, and we are about to start 90 minutes of Spa as they come down towards Eau Rouge. Will he release? He has just released with his green flag racing. Tim Matzke is in the lead, just followed directly behind by Linus Tech now. The car of Adam Cristo tucked in the 4th position. Malte Stumpf going up through Aradian at the moment. A line of cars going up. There's been no incidents so far. Linus Tech now making the best of that start that he could. A line of... You could just see the line of cars.
Oh, no, there's been a big accident at the back of the field. I need to see who that is. You keep an eye on it at the moment. I need to keep an eye because there was a lot of cars. There was some carnage and a car being crashed out. I will try and work out what's happened here. And there's some more carnage as well with Jack Hills and Simon Marshall going down the straight. I have no idea what's happened here. So we've had an accident going into Radion, and now another accident afterwards, and that's actually Mick Anderson and Simon Dodd coming together. It almost looks like Dodd was spun around. So lots of carnage at the start here. We'll need to get an eye. We need to check as we come around after the first lap to see what exactly has happened. It's hard to keep track of a 47 car field, so we will do as much as we can to get the information.
I don't have it on the replay. Goddamn.
No, I don't. In fact, I can't even find the leaders.
I have found the leaders. Tim Matzke is still in the lead. So we've had a crash already in the start of this race. So there's a minute. Or sorry, I was reading it as a minute. It's an hour, 28 seconds. Or an hour and 28 minutes left on the clock. We have had a few crashes coming into Radion. I think you'll be able to describe them as they come, as you could get the replay. But this, we've just had an accident.
Oh, who's that gone off? That's Oscar Copper gone off. Not sure what's happened there. I just want to say as well, Adam Christodoulou is down into 20th at the moment. After, I'm not sure what happened on his first lap. We'll have to try and get an idea of what happened there, but he is all the way down, and I would not be surprised if he had an off moment there. It looks like he had a moment going around Les Coons, but he is now 15th after all the chaos, so it's still in the lead. It's Matzke, Tech now, Stump, McNish, Forsyth. Now we need to keep an eye out. I'm still trying to work out here who's in the pits, and it looks like Adam Miles is in the pits, Simon Dodd definitely in the pits. They're the only 2 cars at the moment. Oscar Copper is also in the pits. So those are the cars at the moment. Dodd's not in the pits. He has recovered, but he's got a lot of damage. He will be going into the pits. So 3 retirements at the moment. 3 cars in the pits at the moment. Actually, Mick Anderson as well. So trying to keep an eye on that. But there was carnage at Radion. A car was off, and the car trying to avoid him went into the side. I did not get the numbers. It was absolute chaos at the start at the back of the field.
Adam Cristo, by the way, is down into 14th position. He was at 4th at one stage, so he's lost 10 positions from when the green flag dropped. So he's got a lot of time to make up as the car in 14th and 16th battle it out at the moment. So that's James Pierce going into prospective 15th position behind Adam Cristo. I think he wants to try and follow him through when he passes through the traffic. There's no damage on the car as far as I can see, so he might just had an accident or had to avoid an incident going into the source. But he is down on the grid at the moment.
I just want to go through a list of the cars in the pits after the first lap. Car 96, Christian Wirtz. Car 47, Niels Balkage. 82, Ingo Lapsium. 36, Isaac Barkley. 57, Sebastian Ryan. Number 1, Matt Heatrick. Number 44, Mick Anderson. And number 85, Adam Miles. Those are the 6 cars that have retired, well, not retired, sorry, are in the pits fixing their cars, and they all look very sad with broken wings and bent side panels.
I wanted to be like sad face, but I can't throw it up on the screen. It'll just be too mean to these poor guys. Been practicing for ages, so I will spare them the moment. As you can see there on the left hand side, just briefly, the list of cars that are in the pits at the moment. There's a fair few of them, but hopefully they will try and go back out and continue racing. It is still all to play for here, even if you get damaged early on. As you can see in the background, the car in 6th position, the 54 of Louis Eggleston, battling it with the big boy Z4. I think that's De Wedge? No, it's not De Wedge.
It is De Wedge. It is De Wedge. It's De Wedge and Forsyth. Sorry. Now Hogarth's got involved. Eggleston could not make the overtake on the outside of Les Combes there on Wedge, and at the same time he's now lost a position going down into Brussels from Hogarth. So Wedge, Hogarth, Eggleston, and then behind him is Harry Wills and Bradshaw. There is quite a gaggle here, and they're now splitting up into packs at the moment. It's now a bit of pack racing. There's about 4 cars in this pack at the moment, maybe 5 cars, and then there'll be then about 3 seconds down ahead of them up the road is another pack. So this is the way it's going. But in this pack at the moment, P6 is now De Wedge, P7 is Hogarth, and P8 is Louis Eggleston.
Tim Matske, by the way, is making sure that everybody knows that why he's in first position. He is now a second ahead of Linus Tech now. A literal second. So he's making good on his car and his ability and pushing the raggedy edge off of it. As we sit in the car of Van der Wedge. He is going through... I was going to say Radion. I was going to do it again, but it's not Radion. It is not Radion. It is Blanchimont. He was going through there at 250 kilometers an hour. Car number 6 in car 6th position, car in 9th position are battling it out.
Just keeping an eye on this battle at the moment. Eggleston and Wills. Eggleston has now dropped down. No, still P8, sorry. No, he hasn't dropped down. Almost lost another position to Harry Wills at the bus stop, but was able to hold on there. Took the inside line. So now Wills is on the back foot again. Now Wills on the back foot. Not again. He's always been on the back foot. This is how it's been at the start of the race, with Bradshaw behind him and Rick Cohen. So that's happening there. I want to have a look to see where Adam Cristo is at the moment. He's into P13. He's got Tristan Iglesias in front of him. He's got the slipstream. As we see, Matske goes purple with 2:17.7 that lap, smashing everybody out the water. Cristo is taking a really aggressive line up Radion, and it is paying off for him, but he's just unable in these almost identical Mercedes just to get the line. He does pull up. He does pull ahead with slipstream, but it's too late to do anything. If he comes to Les Combes, have to back off. But this may be a good thing. Iglesias and him could work together. There's been a spin out in front of them. That looks like, and it's Harry Wills has been spun out there. He spun out on his own, coming around Les Combes. What happened there? I think he just clipped the grass. Did very well to keep that out of everything, but has lost a few places. He's down into P14 now, but what a save.
Cars behind him, by the way, almost came into contact with each other, but just missed out. So very, very glad that no driver was hurt in the making of that an accident.
That overtake. So they're coming now down to the corner. I can't remember the name of this corner. They come out of Pujon, coming around the corners at the moment. This is a massive gaggle at the moment.
Le Fon. Sorry,
I forget it. We've got Cohen now in P9. We've got Bradshaw in 10th still. We've got Iglesias behind them, Cristo behind them, Jane Pierce and Harry Wills in the second. This is a big gaggle, and it's a few Ferraris and then a couple Mercedes in the middle. And it does feel like this is a nature documentary. The Ferraris are ganging up on these guys, but I think they'll be okay. The little Mercedes, I think they'll be fine.
Well, the Mercedes, the car in 12th position. That was Iglesias stepped out. Coming through Blanchimont.
Oh, and Cristo went very hard in very late for the break in the bus stop there. But does stick. So he's taken a position mainly due to Iglesias unable to turn. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he must have just had a little bit of oversteer there, or understeer, sorry.
As you can see, Harry Wills has recovered. He did not hit the wall. He only just had a bit of a spin. So he is chasing the rear end of the pack at the moment. So he's in 14th position, hugging the rear end of Tristan Iglesias, who did recover nice and well from his car stepping out through Blanchimont. He's able to get to the rear end and gain some slipstream as the gaggle of 6, well, it's a gaggle of 7 now. It just a lot of cars and a lot of bodies at the moment going in through the midfield of the top runners. Coming through Lake Coombe onto Malmedy. It's not Marmalade. It's not anything else. It's Malmedy. I got it right this time. In Brussels.
Oh, Cristo again goes wide. Is it? I'm not sure. Is it him just hitting the brakes too much, or trying to go late in the braking zones? Just compromising himself a little bit there, going hard around Brussels there, but does recover. But he had lost a small bit of time. Now into Pujon. Love this corner. Love this corner. When do you accelerate? You accelerate as early as you can and make sure you don't spin that, slide the back out. Brilliant by the cars at the back of this gaggle here to just hold on to that. Les Fawns now is next. Again, Cristo going really hard on the braking. Made up loads of time with that though. Would this kill his tyres is the next question. Would he go for a tyre stop for his pit stop? We will wait and see as they come now through Stavelot and heading up to Blanchimont.
You can just hear the roar, the absolute roar of the Mercedes engine as they come past Stavelot, up through Paul Frere, then on to No Name, and then on to Blanchimont then. By the way, No Name needs to be renamed No Name.
Oh, he's gone for it. He's gone for it. Christoph with a Christodoulou there with a great overtake. He came from a mud back for that, did he?
No, he wasn't too far back. He was in the prime zone. That is a very good overtaking zone if you can make the car stick. That means that you need to be braking, but braking not too hard, but hard enough to just edge out the guy to your left or to your right hand side. It usually is keep the enemy car to the, not the enemy car, but the opposition car to your left. Brake hard, come around the first corner of the chicane, then swing out wide. Or if he's given up the position, you can just take the chicane as the second part of the chicane as normal. As he just charges down, he's in 10th position now. He charges down Rick Cohen. Rick Cohen is doing a Schumacher on it, and we've got a recreation of when Mika Hakkinen was chasing down Michael Schumacher, making moves coming down Camel Straight, and Michael Schumacher giving him no inch, moving towards the outside of the straight really, and making sure Mika Hakkinen did not have the good line going into Lake Coombe and then beyond. But will Adam Cristo make the move that blows us all away and just say, okay, you've put me into a rough position, how about I just do it anyway? He almost had it. He almost had it that time, so he just needs, I'd say he needs 1 or 2 more laps of good hard driving, and then he can get to the rear end of that Ferrari and have the absolute best chance to overtake the spot going into Lake Coombe and then securing 9th position, flying his way back up through the field. But he'll need a drive and a half to catch the end of Louis Egerton, who is a few seconds ahead on the tarmac away from Rick Cohen. He is 2-3 seconds ahead of Rick Cohen at the moment.
Yeah, and then of course ahead of them is another 3-second gap between Forsyth and McNish, and Forsyth wants to go for a move, does not. We've got a gaggle here for the top 5, not including Matsuke, because Matsuke's in a different league at the moment. Tech now is P2, half a second behind him is Stump, half a second behind Stump is McNish, half a second behind McNish is Forsyth. So these 4 guys are all in the little slipstream. They're playing pull away. They can't play catch up with Matsuke. They're doing all they can at the moment. Stump may have the move. If he gets a good line coming out of Radion, he may have the move. But we will have to keep an eye on that as we go down. Same with a lot of cars, actually, to be fair. When you look at it, we were looking at Cristo there. He's got Cohen in front of him. He's got to worry about Bradshaw behind him. So Tech now will hold on right now. What will Stump do? He cannot catch up. The Macca's just too fast on the straight for the Audi. He will not be able to hold on there. He will see fire in his windscreen there to Stump, and will have to just live to fight another day around Lake Coombe. He goes with Tech now, Stump, McNish, Forsyth. That is your 2nd to 5th.
Adam Cristo has made the move. He is now into 9th position. He did what I was saying before. He did the move around the outside of Rick Cohen. Rick Cohen could not make it stick. He just gave too much slipstream to Adam Cristo, and Adam Cristo is now into 9th position, so he's making his way back up the field, commanding the corners, especially given the accident. I think it was an accident he had. I think he just went wide or had a spin, but he's definitely making up for that now. He's getting nice and settled into the car. He's trying to charge towards the back of 8 and 7. 8 is 3 seconds ahead of him, and 7 is 8 seconds ahead of him. So we've got a Radeon TV car fighting for a good position in this race. He's just ahead of him. Please, Adam, I know we haven't met, but please be nice to our car.
Treat him nice, please, Adam. Treat him nice, please, Adam.
I'll give you a cookie.
One whole cookie. Okay.
I mean, that's all I can afford right now.
Unfortunately, Harry Woodhead is in the pits.
No.
Yep. Something has happened. The back of his car does not look nice. I have not seen a replay, but it does not look nice, I must be honest. So he's parked it. He's not parked it, sorry. He is still about, but he's doing some damage. Joshua Meyer, he's a lap down, but he is still running. Apart from that, that's the only cars.
I think that's Louis Eggleston. I think that... No, it's... Who was that? It's a Radeon TV car. He just pulled over to the side of the road. Oh, it's a lapped car. He's not for position. I thought he was for position. Now I'm really sad. Sorry.
I was having to work out what you were saying there for a moment. I thought it was going to be for a moment. What's that, Skippy? Someone's fallen down the well? I literally thought I'd have to do that for a moment. I was wondering what you were going on about. I was quite worried, but I was having a look at the rest of the field because it was a 47 car field, and there's some big movers at the back of the field. I'm looking at car 91 at the moment myself. Tom Johnson. He's made up 19 places and is now P25, making moves on Mark Bailey as they come down the straight right now. Will he make the move going into Lake Coombs? He pulls to the side at Lake Coombs, and Bailey breaks a little bit earlier, and Johnson makes the move stick. That may be for P24, but there's 47 cars, and you've got to have racing everywhere down the field, so it's nice just to pick up another battle there. Don't see anything else happening at the moment. In terms of battles, but looking really nice around the field actually, and it's not people driving on their own. Like I said, it's pack racing. Somebody is with somebody, and even if they're not working together deliberately, they are working together to get around. So it's great to see.
They're holding hands, singing Kumbaya, and having a jolly good old time.
Sure. Whatever tickles your fancy.
Now, he's made up 19 positions at the moment. He started in P44. Tom Johnson is probably the biggest gainer out of all of them at the moment, but unfortunately we do have to discuss those who are in the pits at the moment. I think out of the running currently there are, I think, 35 cars running.
I've got 35 cars running. I'm not sure about anybody else. No, 36. 36. We've got a couple lap cars that did go back out and race, so we'll have to see at the moment. But there's 34 cars on the lead lap at the moment, as Matsuke is now, well, he's a minute and 10 behind the car number 34, the last car on the lead lap. So give him, I don't know, give him 10 laps and he'll catch up to the rest of the field, I reckon. I don't mean that insultingly. I'm just saying that is the speed that Max Gay is bringing right now, and I don't think he's had a lap which has been slower than Tech Now or Stump. That's basically the speed he's on.
By the way, Rick Cohen is definitely not letting up on Adam Cristo. He is clinging to the back of him, and he's done so for the last lap or two, ever since he got passed by him. And he's putting the pressure, he's piling the pressure onto the car number 70, making sure that he knows he may have been overtaken, but he's still in his rearview mirrors. He's making sure that he sees him, making sure that he just thinks about him. Psychological warfare is a good big thing about these race cars. You need to be able to push your enemy or push your rival, essentially. You know, you have a rival, you want to pass him, you want to gain a position over your rival, and right now the car in 10th position is rivaling car in the 9th position, so the car number 58 is rivaling car number 70. Let's see what he can do. The amateur of Rick Cohen racing against the real pro of Adam Cristo, and he's not letting up whatsoever.
A good job, but then again, we always know the Ferrari's got some good top speed, so just holds on here. Do a little bit of a wiggle coming around Blanchimont. We'll lose a bit of time, but that could be a fatal crash if you're not careful. So great going there. Now he just wants to be a little bit, he wants to go here. He really wants to take out, well, not take out, sorry, he really wants to take that position from Cristo Dulu there. Will he make a move going into the first corner? Does not. So now reset. You're right on the bumper. Don't do anything crazy going up Radion. My God, I just did the opposite of you. Going up Radion, and just maybe you'll get a chance going up to Lace Coombe. Be interesting to see how car number 70 here, Christophe Dulu, does a defense. I don't think he's actually been under pressure all race, so this will be interesting.
A word for Martin Pearson. Has been struggling with the car all week. He's got a great result so far. Where is he? He's in P18 at the moment. He is currently on his own at the moment. He's in a little bit of a bubble, but he sees the car of 16, 4, and 21 battling ahead of him.
Oh, Rick's gone for it. He's gone for it. He's gone for it for Brussels. And actually, Christophe's just decided to just yield, and I don't think he was ready for that. Cohen taking it on the hairpin there of Brussels. Really surprising. Great move from the amateur there. And it's also put Cristo in the position where he's going to be under attack from Bradshaw now. So great move there by the amateur in the Ferrari.
Let's have a replay of that. Oh, he does make a very deep dive into the corner into Brussels, and he makes it stick. He is taken back 9th position, so Cristo will have to put in a large amount of work to get that position back, as the Ferrari is now gaining a bit of a gap ahead of him. But anything can happen with the next hour.
Well, he's got more than the Ferrari in front to worry about. He's got 2 Ferraris behind him that may be battling themselves with Bradshaw and Pierce, but they're catching just a little bit. They're catching. As Pierce decides to lift a little bit, so he's not on the bumper of Bradshaw. Will decide to try and make him move. Light braking there. Does not do anything. Does Pierce onto Bradshaw, so that's okay. But this group is now bunched up a little bit. And Cohen is, well, where is Adam? He's half a second behind Cohen. He will not be able to make a move yet, but he's just got past him. And now Christodulu is like, great, I've got to do it all over again. And I can't do it here, because by the time I get to Lake Coombs, it'll be too late and he'll be under defense. So he's going to have to wait half a lap, really, to try and make a move on Cohen.
We've got shout-outs pouring in. A shout-out to Tom Johnson. We did definitely showcase him, an absolute beam machine, coming from P44 to P23. 19 places he's made up. As you see in the background, the car of James Pierce losing a position to Tristan Iglesias as he very close to contact there Iglesias slid, and there's a car off.
Is there?
I thought there was.
I don't see anything, unfortunately. Christoph Dulu is losing time to Cohen. Now, is this the result of the tyres falling off? No, don't be silly. I can't see that. But they've now been driving for they've been driving for 27 minutes. So if I'm right, I think some of them will have to start looking at pit stops shortly. Not entirely sure, but Cristo Dulu is now fighting Bradshaw, but in front of him, it's okay, because Rick Cohen is in the battle with Eggerson right now, and this is looking juicy. He's not going to send it through there. No, Cohen, there was no way Cohen was going to send it there before Stavlot, was he? No way you send it at campus. But now he's got to run, and he's going to make this overtake before he gets to Blanchimont. They're side by side as they come under the DHL DHL sign. Cohen makes it stick. Eggerson is behind him. It's all on Eggerson right now. He's got Eggy on the front of on the hood of his car. Goes a little bit wide. That's going to be an off track. I don't think he'll be able to go for a late braking here at the bus stop. Will get close up get as close as he can. Does not make it stick, but this helped Christoph Dulu, because now he's got somebody else, and I'm pretty sure that he will be able to get past the Audi better than he would the Ferrari.
Rick Cohen, by the way, putting in an absolute extreme effort. Great driving from him, especially to battle somebody like Adam Cristo. But Adam Cristo's not giving up. He's chasing down the car number 54 of Louis Egerton as they come up through Radion at the moment, on towards the Cowell Straight. They won't be able to make a move this time. Oh, he might actually. Egerton is slow coming out of it as the I was about to say the Beamer, but the AMG of...
He's going to go for two. No, I thought for a moment he was going to go for two. The Deutsche Postcard sends it. He sends it, he's licked, he's stamped, and he has sent it. And I thought for a moment he was going to try to do a 2-for-1 there. But that's how aggressive he is on the brakes. It's actually refreshing to see this type of braking instead of the braking you normally see. You know what I mean? The light braking. This is really hard on the brakes, really giving it everything. It's fantastic. I was going to say, I actually found what happened in that opening crash, and it's not good to see. I will explain it quite quickly. Ben Smith got a bit too hot going up Radion into the back of Nils Backage. So basically Nils Backage then starts spinning. He goes to the left of the track going backwards. He then crosses back over. He's contacted one car, he's contacted two cars. And then out of nowhere, while he's sideways, Sebastian Ryan goes into the side of him and basically does a huge flip, as well as another car as well. Two cars went into the back of him. So yeah, chaos at the start.
We have the leaders now of second, third and fourth passing by a lapped Ferrari who's got a good bit of damage. It's the car in 38th position, and I think that is Joshua Mayer. Mayer's still going around. Was it not?
I think you'll find that Simon Dodd.
You're right.
Ferrari.
It is.
You know Joshua Mayer is driving the cursed car. Come on.
Oh. But the leaders of, well, we can't even consider, Matsky in this whole thing. He's just on his own. He's 4 seconds ahead of Linus Tech now, but Linus is pulling out a gap between himself and the rest of the field, so he's trying to break the slipstream that Stumpf has been holding on to for so long. The second, third and fourth position cars are like a concertina, making the same moves, making the same level of great driving to keep the three of them in contention for the second and third step of the podiums here at the 90 minutes of Spa. There's no real issues between the three of them at the moment, but they won't be able to catch Matsky at the moment. Matsky's last lap was 2:18.369. Linus only matched it, and what's even worse is Stumpf had slipstream and he was 0.2 of a second slower, as well as McNish. McNish was 0.2 slower than that. So the two I can't even say.
Manatee.
Is it Manatee. I was about to say Martini. Manatee cars. They gotta pull the socks up. They gotta get by Techno and make it a 1-2-3 for Manatee at spot. That would be an absolutely great thing to see here.
They need to put their martinis to one side and start driving, is what you're saying. That's what you were trying to say right now. Manatee, put down the martinis. It's time to drive. Malt Stump is still there, and Techno goes wide again. I want to just keep eyes on another battle here. Haven't mentioned it a lot at the moment about Van der Weege and John Hoggard. There was at one stage 0.2 of a second between the two of them as Hoggard tried to make a move at the start of the race, start of the lap at Lake Coombe, could not do it. Weege has actually gotten a bit wide at the bus stop here, is forced to defend as they come across the start-finish line. Will this give the advantage to Hoggard right here? He will not be able to make a move into the first corner, but he has been catching, and he was 0.2 of a second faster on the last lap, so he does have a chance, but they do have lap traffic in front of them. Now, what is the lap traffic doing? Dottie is pulling to one side. That's very good respect there and good sportsmanship from the lap car. That's very nice to see. He will pull to one side. Now, what will Hoggard do? He does have the slipstream. 0.2 of a second is the gap. Where is Weege going to go? He's going to take the left. He's going to take the left, but he's pulling away. He's actually got a bit more top speed by Hoggard, it looks like. Very interesting to see that. Hoggard decides not to go side by side. He just wants to live to fight another day.
I've got a suggestion to look on board with Tom Johnson. So, the car in 44th position that started this race is now in 22nd. He's charging towards the car number 2 of James Goldstein as they go nearly side by side going down Kemmel Straight. He's trying to look for a gap. The gap is not there, my friend. But he launches the car into Lake Coombe, holding the inside line. But you can see the car number 2 does not yield the position. Car number 2 is still hanging on. Tom Johnson, very cautious, very, a good word of caution that he has. He doesn't want to hit anybody. He just wants to have nice, fun, clean racing, and it's definitely showing as we do see him return to the rear of the car number 2 of James as they come down towards Double Gauche or Puhan 1 and Puhan 2. Let's see what these two can do for us, because these are the two guys that are racing for good positions. Ooh. Johnson not smashing the brakes, hitting the brakes quite hard, almost coming into the rear end of James. I don't want to say his last name because I keep getting it wrong and keep saying Goldstein. Unless that's right.
I don't know. I'm not sure myself. We're going to have to ask him. Must apologise. Really good work here from Johnson onto the car number 2. Making it work. But you cannot go on the inside of Lake Coombe. Yes, you want to not go all the way to the apex and the exit of Lake Coombe. But you don't then want to compromise yourself that much. Goldstein does take the inside here at the bus stop. Johnson will go around the outside. He wants to make it side by side. Will go to take it. They touch. I don't think James thought that John was going to do that. Don't think he thought he wanted to make it side by side. There was room there, but I don't think James saw it. So that's unfortunate there. But now behind him is Ben Smith. Will go around the outside of the source. And they almost touched there. If there's netcode, that would have been it. As Smith now will be Smith and Wells, will be attacking this. So it's 3 Ferraris. Go up Radion. Make a joke out of that if you wish, but I'm not going to. I'm too busy watching this battle. Smith has the slipstream. He might be able to make a move on Johnson as they come out as they come to Lake Coombs.
By the way, Andrew Miller, I think he is currently in 28th position.
Johnson goes on the inside of Lake Coombe. Smart move there, but now he's going to make sure he makes the exit of Lake Coombe stick. It's quite a scrappy entry into Lake Coombe. Loses a bit of time. Goes around Marmalade as you call it, but I'm not going to call it that. Goes down to Brussels. Still has the lead. And these guys are just battling right now. There is half a second between Johnson and Smith and half a second between Smith and Wells. And it's also great because they're all Ferrari, so technically they should almost match each other, and this should basically just be a battle of slipstream.
Remember when the Ferrari GT3 challenge was a thing? The Feather challenge?
Oh my god, I grew up, that's how I started iRacing.
The Feather GT challenge.
But fun fact, my first ever race out of rookies was the Feather GT3 challenge at Skip Barber Circuit, and a certain Lando Norris was on the front row. So you can guess how that went. I totally beat him. Totally.
We've just heard that there is a penalty being assigned. I think there is a penalty being assigned to Tom Johnson. We are just waiting for the note to be passed to us, the official note that tells us what the penalty was.
I'm just looking myself. Sorry, I was just trying to work it out myself. Sorry. Keep talking. Can't find it, but there was a penalty handed out. Was that definitely the 91? I'm not sure. Questionable move, but I think it was a bit of ballet. You've got to give and you've got to take. So, but there is a bigger gainer at the moment than Johnson. As actually, Johnson and Smith. Hold on one second. Johnson and Smith. They're not going to go side by side up to Radion. Nope, Smith plays it safe, just yields for the moment. A bigger gainer than Johnson. I know that's hard to believe with 26 places. It's actually Taylor Lane who's made up 26 places, and is currently sitting 19th. The black and yellow Ferrari there, just on his own at the moment. I must admit, I was saying earlier, no cars really driving on their own, but Taylor's doing it. 26 places he's made up. Started 45th, he's now 19th. So. That's the big gainer at the moment, and with Johnson possible penalty, that could mean that Lane could be the big gainer of the race.
At the moment, we have them battling, but we also have the little boy that could, Van der Wedge in the Z4, in the nice Z4 actually. But there was definitely a your thoughts on that incident, Craig?
I'm not sure. I think it has to be a racing incident. Could he have not gone for it? Yes, but at the same time, they started the bus stop side by side, and I think really you still got to listen to your spotter, who would probably tell you car left, and I just think I wouldn't say he turned into him. I think it's just a case of, especially with how hard when you're in that cockpit to see the exit of the bus stop, it's just a hard corner. So might have turned in thinking he had enough space and just didn't. So I would go with the idea of a racing incident there. I always say it takes two to tango in racing, and that was a prime example of why it takes two to tango.
Would you tango with me?
I already have, my friend. Daytona, ILMS.
Oh,
we
yes,
already have, my friend.
I just want to, tango with you, in the actual tango way. As you can see.
Dancing the Paso Doble. Will Craig and Robert please come to the ballroom?
Come to the stage. Can the real Slim Shadys please stand up?
But, as you like to say, Cristo cannot get past Rick Cohen. They're matching times at the moment. Adam's actually a little bit faster, but we're talking hundredths of a second here. So, unable to make a move at the moment. And he's been stuck behind Cohen now for, what, 4 laps now? Maybe 5? Yeah, 4 laps. As they hit the 51-minute to go. They're 42 minutes into the race. And he's been stuck now for a while. And pros, you're saving fuel. Cons, you can't progress because the next car down the track is 11 seconds. So even if you've got past him, and I'm pretty sure when they started battling, they were only about 6 seconds behind the next cars in front of them. So that just shows how he's holding up there and just had to hit the brakes late because it almost looked like he was going to go into the back of Cohen. Does recover though.
The amateur versus the pro. Rick Cohen versus Adam Cristo as they come around La Source. Rick is definitely pushing the car to the limit. He's definitely not letting up at all. He's definitely giving the best chance. He's definitely giving himself the best chance he can. An absolute stellar drive for him and from the amateurs today. Tom Johnson being one of them. And, you know, barring the incident he had in the bus stop, he was doing an excellent drive, coming up from 44th position as Adam Cristo looks to the rear end. Does he make a move? No, he doesn't. He sticks to the rear end of Rick Cohen.
And it's interesting as well because technically Cohen is the lead amateur driver, and in fact he's got 4 pros behind him. And we will I must admit, it's one of these things as well that they were told before that there's no point to be fighting if you're in different classes, because everyone wants a race. You're not just going to pull to one side because it's a different class. So it does make you think: is it more Cristo not with the pace to Cohen? But it's some great racing anyway from the two of them. So it'll be interesting to see. But as I was saying, Cohen is the lead amateur driver. And that is pretty much something we have to keep mentioning because this is a 2-class race. You know, just ignore Matsuke about 5 million miles ahead of everybody at the front of the field. Cohen here, he may be P8 on the field, he's P1 in his own class, and that's all that matters.
I've opened on the center screen. So they just basically saw me trying to attach an image.
I didn't see that. That's alright.
It's all good. Anyways, we are trying to get anybody to interview. If you have a chance to do an interview, we'd love to have you on. So let us know.
It's going to be like a NASCAR. It's going to be like a NASCAR outside the medical room for those that had a crash, is it?
You can't be too mean to the poor boys, as the car. I think who is that behind them? That is the Audi of. Oh, is that the? I'm trying to find the number. Yeah, Lapson is just pulled out. I think they're starting to take pit stops now. So from the car 22 down. Car 22 down is now a lap down, so they're taking pit stops at the moment, I think.
Not sure. No, Smith hasn't pitted. No one's pitted yet. The only cars that would have pitted were pitted for damage, but I don't see any cars pitting for fuel or anything like that at the moment.
Okay.
Although saying that, oh no, Jack Hills has had a moment, and his wing looked very sad. What has happened to the Falcon amateur driver there?
The Falcon amateur driver.
I unfortunately cannot see what's happened, but his wing looks like one of these graphs you see for coronavirus. It's just gone up and it's just stayed. Yeah, that's unfortunately what it looks like.
You've just got my channel demonetized.
Oh, did that get people demonetized?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I didn't say that, honestly.
Shh, don't tell YouTube. Shh. I'm actually monetized anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But back again, the trio of second, third, and fourth. Press F's in the chat, boys, for my channel. But it's all good. Second, third, and fourth are within 2 seconds of each other. Linus Tech now is 0.7 of a second ahead of Stumpf, who's 0.7 of a second ahead of McNinch. And we do have an interview.
We have an interview?
Yes, we do.
Well, while you set the interview up, I will talk everybody through it in a moment. It's Matsuke. It's almost 6 seconds ahead of Linus Tech now, who's half a second in front of Malt Stumpf. And then behind him, at about the same pace, is Liam McNish. McNish went fastest last lap, was the fastest car on the track with a 2:17.933. And that was 0.033 faster than Matsuke. It's the little things that matter at the moment, but he was fastest, and that was his fastest lap. So he's caught back to this train. In fact, even Stumpf caught back to Tech now. There was over a second gap between them at one stage. So the Manatee drivers are still in this. It's a battle right now, which is still going at the front. We are trying to keep every battle as we can. In fact, Cristo has made that position on Rick Cohen, and it looks like he's actually done it on, he's done it on the Camel Straight coming out of Radion. So Cristo is now P8 at the same time this is going on. So the leader of the amateurs, Rick Cohen, he's lost a place. But let's be honest, Rick Cohen right now, he's about to come down into Pujon. The next amateur driver is Harry Wills. Harry Wills is, well, he's just come out of Brussels. So that gives you an idea of the gap we're looking at right here. So about a 11-second gap for Cohen over Wills, which is actually bigger than your gap at the front with Matsuke and Tech now. We keep saying how impressive that is.
We are about to interview, by the way, Harry Wills, who owns and runs RSR World Series, and he's been kind enough to put up for an interview. So we are now going to let the cameras speak for themselves, and we are going to talk to the owner of the league. So get that pen out, Craig. We gotta get that pen out. We've got to get pens, everything out.
Is this the empty checkbook? Is that the blank checkbook as well? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. As you say that, I was just about to say the leaders, apart from Tech now, have all pitted. So, perfect time as now the pit stops are starting. Actually, Will's coming for the pits. Yeah, he's coming into the pits as well. So, perfect time to grab him. And I will admit, speaking of the person that said to us, maybe you could interview someone as they do a pit stop. As you're coming into the pits, car 95. Good evening, Harry Wills. How's the race going?
Very good, but I think I've just run out of fuel. We might actually be out of fuel, yeah. But it's all right because this is downhill down here, so I'll just coast. It's cool. It's fine.
You got a little bit of an uphill bit there, just as you're coming around the inside of the source there. But you should be okay, because you really are going slow.
Oh yeah, she's on zero. She's absolutely out. So, but this is fine. This is downhill, so just chill out now.
How are things, Harry? How is racing going so far?
It's going really well. There's like a phantom speck of dirt on the exit of one of the corners, which I've hit twice, and it's kind of killed me. But yeah, it's going really good. I think some lads in the back have had some trouble, which I might have a little bit of work to do after the race in resolving that. But apart from that, it's going really well.
Look at you, just getting there. Come on, you can do this.
I know.
Come on,
I'm
you can do this. Do a hill start. If you're going to do a hill start, don't worry. I'm sure someone will come out and push you.
I'm really hoping my teammate will push me. If I better not get this wrong.
Here we go. You've got one shot. He's done it.
We're in.
He's done it, lads. He has done it. He's in the pits. Just made it. So
I was slightly clenched then. Yeah, I know. We're all right now.
You're about 10 seconds behind, before the pit stop, behind the lead amateur driver, Rick Cohen. So doing pretty well in P2 at the moment. Do you feel you're in for any battles behind you? You've got Costa and Pearson behind you in the amateurs. They're about 6 seconds behind you. They're battling themselves. I'm not saying do you hope they take each other out, but are you expecting them? Are you expecting them to come back on? Sure.
I think. Well, I'm not taking tyres, and I tend to be quite hard on tyres. So we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I'm hoping that. I'm hoping these tyres will last the distance, and they kind of look like they should do. But I think the Ferrari is slightly better on its tyres than maybe what I'm doing it now. But we'll see. We'll have a go. We haven't come out here to finish third, so we'll have a go and see what happens.
You're currently running 13th according to the timesheet, so you're sitting pretty at the moment. So I'm assuming the race is going well for you so far, apart from the start, which we missed, which was the T1 incident.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, well, you saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of that in the mirrors. I was a bit up ahead of it. I didn't get involved in it. The only thing I saw was, unfortunately, Adam lost it. We were all able to avoid him, which was quite nice. But the race is going really well. From outside of my windscreen, I think a couple of the lads have had a bit of maybe a couple of little problems that I might need to look into after the race. But apart from that, it's going decent, I think. Thanks. Yeah, we're doing all right. We'll hopefully get there. No, apart from a big thank you to you guys for putting on a fantastic stream. I really appreciate it. Big thank you to all the drivers that have turned up to have a go in this series. Hopefully they're all enjoying it. I know there's been something happen which we'll have to look at, but apart from that, hopefully everyone else is having a good time, and keep doing what you're doing because it's absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm putting in the applause for effect. But we appreciate you guys giving us an absolute cracker of a race, and we hope next week is as brilliant as this is.
Well, yeah, it might be slightly more hectic. I think Barcelona with 40 or 50 cars, it might be slightly more tricky. That was all right. Yeah, slightly more tricky, but we'll see. But yeah, it's going all right, and hopefully I don't end up too busy after this race reviewing a load of incidents, but we shall see.
Well, I'll send you down for taking the interview. Thanks again, much indeed, and enjoy the rest of your race.
I shall try it, guys. Thank you very much, and have fun.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
So while that is going on at the moment, we mentioned how Tech now did not pit, and I'm not sure what's happened, but he's now back into P2. So no idea what's happened there with Tech now. I cannot find it on my replay there, so I'm gonna have to rely on somebody else to tell me what's happened. But I'm pretty sure he was fine, and now he isn't, and he's still not pitting. So this is also an interesting display here from the McLaren.
He pitted. I got it on the screens.
Caps, why have you failed me, Caps? Ah!
Cut.
So, Linus Tech now has made up 4 seconds in the pit stop phase. He is now 1.5 seconds behind Matsuke, but Matsuke is a beast and is about to start pull away. But at the same time, he has also put some time ahead of him. He is now away from the Manatee combo of Stump and McNish, who are now in their own little battle.
Well, I mean, he's not too far ahead. The time difference between... Let me get the time difference. I'll get the notes. The time differences between the two of them is that Linus did not take tires.
That will be interesting. This is the thing we heard Harry talking about it. I think he lost a position during all that. Pearson's finally pitted last lap, so that will play interest into the battles going on to see how these tires last. But we mentioned before, it's a cold track. It's now 21 Celsius. That is 69 Fahrenheit. Get your nicest out in chat, unfortunately, I had to say it. So it will be interesting to see how these tires last, because that cold track will help them, and the sun is starting to go down as well, which also plays into this, because now you're looking at a cold track, which means the grip will somewhat disappear in some places, just because of the lack of it, because moonlight doesn't exactly give you the same heat as sunlight.
Well, I mean, it's just a reflection of the sun. So.
Yeah, but let's not get scientific in here, okay?
I mean, these are cars at the top of their A game. We have to be scientific about it. The lap times for the leaders, by the way, on that last lap. Let's see as they cross the line. It is a 2:18.659 for the number 8 car, Tim Matzke. It is a 2:18.718 for Linus Techno. Mount Stumpf just did a 2:19.074, and McNinch did a 2:19.174.
Techno's doing pretty good. I was just watching as well. Car number 7, Mark Bailey, had a moment into Lake Coombs and lost a few places and then some more because he had to skirt onto the grass to get to the escape road. So he lost about 5 places there in a lot of time. He went from 19th to 24th in that process. And to give you an idea of where that is, that's about 15 to 20 seconds of time lost just from that moment at Lake Coombs. So that's unfortunate there for the car who was in the top 20 but now no longer is. These times are very important. Let's have a look as well at Harry Wills. Again, he did not take tyres, so this will be an interesting thing for the amateurs. We've got to keep an eye on the amateurs. Rick Cohen is sitting in P8, and there are 5. There's Martin Pearson as well now in between them, I believe, but it's a 2:20.179 for Wills. Now Cohen is doing a 19.669, and Pearson behind them, in between them, is a 20.823. So the tyre game, I don't think is gonna pay off in the long run for some of these drivers. That makes sense. I'm not saying the guys who haven't pitted for tyres is going to be worse. I think the guys who have pitted for tyres might be in the worse off here.
Now, the fastest lap of the race so far goes to the boy himself, Tim Matzke, who did a 2:17.680.
Has Martin? I'm just saying, has Martin Pearson pitted? He has indeed pitted, but like I said, I think Wills, with his fuel issue, kind of held him up. Kind of lost him a bit of time. Pearson, I don't think, took tyres, but he is 6.5 seconds ahead of Wills in that battle for second and third in the amateur class. So will be interesting. Behind Wills is Ben Smith, who is about 3 seconds behind. So looking pretty comfortable at the moment is Wills. But yeah, it all depends on these times. Smith, definitely, I think Smith also took tyres. Not 100% sure there, but it's one of these things that I need to try and work out if I can find a way for this, for my overlays to say has taken tyres or not, because it would be really helpful.
You can judge by the lap time or by the pit stop times. So a lot of them have had similar pit stop times: 31s, 34s, 31s, 34s. The pit stop lane time as well is in the minutes. It's like 1 minute for being in the pit lane. Even Le Mans is not that bad. It's just the case of the endurance pit stop is a straight, a turn, and then a long straight down a hill, and then you have to be on 60km/h limits all the way down. It's a painstaking, like it's the equivalent of having a little electric scooter going down the hill. It is slow compared to everybody's racing by you in a Porsche or in a Lamborghini, and you just have to wait until you get out of the bottom of the hill and you bottom out, and then you climb back up again and try and gain some speed before you're able to start going racing again. It is one of the longest pit stops on the service of iRacing. So yeah,
I can give you a longer one, but it's an oval. And I know that sounds hilarious, but Bristol Motor Speedway is pretty much similar. The size of that, you basically got pit stalls on one straight and pit stalls on the other straight, and you've all got to go through the same pit entry. So you might have to drive all the way around the oval to get to your pit box, or you're right there right away, but then you still got to drive all the way around the oval. So there are some in similar situations. And I actually like how the endurance layout has been used for this race, just for that fact, just because it really does add another element in with that long pit stall. If you had the GP pits, it just wouldn't have had that same energy, and you would have pulled out. You would have come out as we watched Malt Stumpf and McNish cross the line. You would have pulled out basically just by the first corner here, and you'd be slow coming out of coming down to Radion. So, pretty nice decision here from the admins to use these pits. I think it's really paid off.
Well, it gets the heart pumping anyway. A message from Andy Hitchings. It's terrible look from Midlands Summer Racing. It's Sim Racing. Andrew Miller's iRacing, it declined, crashed, and Butler's dropped out. His internet dropped out. That's a real shame. You know, these things can happen, especially with even though iRacing is, you know, it is reliable enough, but you know, these things can still happen.
It's the luck of the draw, unfortunately. You can't control every element. I've had races where internet's dropped out on me, so I know how that feels. It is not a good feeling. So I can understand his pain at the moment, and that's a shame for Midlands Racing. I mean, they were racing pretty well as well, so that is a shame. While we just keep an eye out down the rest of the field, what has happened to Tom Johnson? Well, he is now sitting in 22nd. He must have taken tyres or something else, or 21st, sorry, is Tom Johnson, watching a battle right now for James Costa and James Goldstein. For James Gold, going around the source right now. Costa might have the move here as they come out of Radion, but that's two Audis. It's only for 17th and 19th, but everybody here deserves their face on the camera. So
just to cut across you, that you said 17th and 19th. You missed a number.
18th and 19th. Sorry. There you go.
Professional commentators on TV.
We have hit the hour mark, by the way. We've got 29 minutes remaining. So just a quick rundown of the leaders of the pros. Leaders of the overall race in the pros. It's Tim Matske, Linus Technow, Malt Stumpf, Liam McNish, and Archie Forsyth, which is your top 5 in the overall race and the pros. Rick Cohen is the leader of the amateurs, sitting in P8 overall, followed by Martin Pearson in P13th, is P2 for the amateurs. Harry Wills right behind him in P14th, is P3 for the amateurs. Ben Smith is 15th, he will take P4, and Stefan Kurtzman again behind him in P16th, that's P5 for the amateurs. So that's your top 5 for the two classes at the moment, with 28 minutes to go.
By the way, we're just trying to get another interview going with 28 minutes to go. I want to get Chris Hamer in to talk about his sim rigs.
That would be good to go. Yeah, I will. You work your magic, because that's what you're good at. I will keep an eye out here. It's interesting to see Adam Cristo. Now he is away from Rick Cohen, and they've done their pit stops. He is 7 seconds ahead of him. So great drive there from Cristo to really just put the times in, put some laps down. He did have a slow lap that time, a 2:20 flat, but making progress. 15 seconds up the road is Hoggard, and then 20 seconds is Forsyth. So 20 minutes to go. If he can get some good speeds, I mean, he's going to have to do some low 19 if he wants to catch up, but I mean, he's a 24-hour endurance winner for a reason. I'm pretty sure he's got a chance here. It's well behind them as well. There is a battle for P9th and 10th. Iglesias and Radshawn are battling out here. There's about half a second between them as they're coming into Lake Coon. The amateur battle for P2 at the moment. Martin Pearson, Harry Wills, and Ben Smith. Well, Pearson's 5.5 seconds ahead of Harry Wills, and you've got Harry 4 seconds ahead of Ben Smith. So looking good, but Smith has got a bit of slipstream of the lap car of Oscar Copper at the moment, so might be able to use that to his advantage to get a quick time just to throw it in there. 20.363 was Smith's last lap with Hills, a 220.998.
By the way, it's two teammates racing each other. It is Tristan Iglesias and Pascal Ratchan. Two different cars, but two close-knit teammates going around 10th and 9th position they're fighting for now. These were the positions that used to be occupied by Cristo and Rick Cohen. Sorry, I had to look to remind myself of his name. That's sticking in the edit.
Yeah, I think we are still just checking on the YouTube chat. We are still looking at this interview, I believe, Wayne. So don't worry, we will get something out. Rashon going really hard into that bus stop as well, and Iglesias, like you said, 2 teammates. So they'll fight, and they'll fight with a bit more decorum, I think is the right word there. Little posh word there, I'm going to be honest. But McNish has taken McNish has taken P3. I'm not sure where that was. It must have been, yep, heading down the Camel Straight. McNish took P3 from Stump. So that's teammates again racing, and I do like how there's a little colour bar just underneath the wing, so you can tell the two of them apart. So Stump has the purple, and McNish has the olive. That an olive colour? Yeah, it's about yellowy green. So that's how you tell the two of them. But McNish, a little bit of hold up here with Chris Hamer. Stop distracting him a little bit with the lap car of Hamer as they go around him up the straight right now. There's the Slim Racing Ferrari going by. Oh, does McNish get booked? Does McNish bookmark Stump? No. Gets away with it. It's I gotta reiterate, bookmark is a term we've come up with where you put a lap car in between the two of you just to gain an advantage. It's not pinching. Pinching is using a lap car to make sure the car fighting you side by side doesn't get a line. So that's bookmarking, but nothing there, as McNish will hold on to P3, and now he's going to be on the defensive. They go down Radion and down into the Camel Straight.
Still battling, by the way, these two guys that you were talking about, leading McNish and Stumpf. Linus has gotten ahead of them. He's 8 seconds ahead of the two of them now, so it's a battle for the last position on the podium. Linus Tech now is 2.3 seconds behind the car number 8, so let's see what he can do with that. As we also, in the background, 27 and 37 making a move. Not the cars, but the positions.
Just
trying to look down the field, by the way, just to see what else is going on. By the way, shout out to I've forgotten. I was trying to say Martini. It's Maniti. Is that it? Manatee. There you go.
Manatee. You were the one that told me what it was last week.
Yeah, and now I've got it wrong. So I've just gotten your curse. I've cursed myself.
That even possible? I don't even want to know. So let's just keep an eye out. Trying to keep an eye out on this amateur battle. Harry Wills is trying to catch on to Pearson. It's 22 minutes left in the race. It's 5.7 seconds gap. It's doable, but he is on used tyres. Well, Pearson would also be on used tyres, but that out of fuel issue there for Wills might have cost him P2. But like he said in the interview, he's not here for P3, so he will be pushing this car as hard as he can.
I mean, it's all for position now. I mean, there's 22 minutes, so the grid's sort of solidifying now. It's like concrete. There's a long set time, and the more and more time you leave it to set, the more concrete the results become. No real big movers at the moment. There's little battles here and there, but the field has started to spread out. You remember before that we were talking about the field grouping together in pack racing, as you said it. I think it's mostly a NASCAR term, really, but it still applies here in roads. You can see like groups of 6 cars, especially like when we were talking about 9th through I think 13th at one point. 20 minutes into the race, they were racing 6 lengths long, 6 cars in a row just racing each other, trying to see if anyone would step out of line. And it was down to Cohen and Adam to start making moves at the front, and Adam did make a move. securing ninth position, and then Cohen fought back. He fought back against a real pro driver, you know, never giving up, putting his best foot forward, and look where it's ending up now. Cohen himself is up 8th position. I get a scoreboard. But he is absolutely doing a flyer.
Yeah, doing a great job, Cohen. I have found a battle. There was a pack of 3 at one stage between Lane, James Gold, and Jack Hills. Lane has pulled away a little bit, but it's still Gold and Hills. And I would love to know what Hills has got in that Audi, because he's got practically half a wing, and he is on the back of Gold with no issue whatsoever. Now, will he be able to make an overtake move is the next question. Is the slipstream helping him? Well, that will be an interesting answer, I must be honest, as they hug each other going down into Radion. I will be curious, because that wing should not be able to give a man enough top speed as they're coming through this long straight.
And which car are you talking about now? You need to mention the car.
Car 19, who is in P19 of Jack Hills.
Oh, I see what you mean now. It's a bent wang.
That was the one I was saying about the demonetized graph earlier.
The no-no word that we shall not be named. By the way, the top 4 cars at the moment have all spread out except for 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are still battling on in the background. You can see the Manatee car in front, then Techno behind him, and then you can see the other 2 Manatee cars battling it out with the rest of the field sort of peppered in between these 2 fighting at the moment. So I think this will be the main place where the cameras are trained now for the next 18 minutes, as we see these 2 battling it out for the final podium position. As they come down into Bruxelles now, they do not make any step out. Nice and easy, guys. Absolutely precision driving and no dramas whatsoever.
Yeah, I just want to say that Stump did have a chance to make a move going down the Camel Straight, but lifted. That's pretty smart, because there was the lap car of Miles coming up for them, so didn't really want to get any issues there. But at the same time, with 18 minutes to go, do you really want to make that move? You are a tenth of a second faster than your teammate in front, and most of that is slipstream. But holding back here, just behind him, keeping it safe, is really handy. I think that's a great idea at the moment, just to hold back, because I think at the end of the day, you're not racing now because you've got 17 minutes remaining. When there's 10 minutes left and you've got about 5 laps left, go for it. But right now, just hold back a little bit. Just keep it safe, because he will come out here, he'll come to the bus stop, he will come to the start-finish straight, go down La Source, head down to Radion, and he'll be on his tail once again. And then the question is, do you want to go side by side, or do you want to just keep together and just do something later on? Just make the move when you're ready, because there's no need to be aggressive this moment right now.
Well, he can be aggressive and make the move essentially all the way to the end, or you can as you said, sit behind the car, wait for the move to make itself apparent.
God, those cars are so loud when they go over the curves of Radion there. But you watch again. Here comes Stump. Now he's got the speed, but he's lifting straight away. He had lifted a little bit there, so you can see what I'm on about. There is he could if he wanted to, but then you run the issue of you're not going to be fast enough to go past him, and you'll be side by side into Lake Coon. So that is what I'm on about. Is you just want to play it safe. You don't want to be. You want to be aggressive. Yes, definitely. You don't want to be stupid aggressive. You just want to bide your time. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Good.
Leroy
Good enough for me.
Solomon, by the way, he asks their teammates, don't they want to switch and gain? Don't they not? It's unfortunately too late in the race to be able to make up for the 8-second gap that Liam McNinch has against Techno. If it was early in the race, that would be a viable option, but right now, it's not a viable option. And if the slower teammate gets in front of the faster teammate is just being held up, and the work will just be lost by the amount of, teamwork that they'll essentially have to do to try and make up the time, the large time now that they have between the two of them.
Yeah, but there are some battles down the field that they're not teammates and they will be going for it. So we've still got this battle for 9th and 10th, Iglesias and Bradshaw, but they are teammates, so they'll play it safe. The Mercedes and the Ferrari in their I'm not sure what colour green that is, but I like it.
It's not a green.
It's not a green. What is it?
It's a teal.
Teal, that's the word. Yeah, no, now I know why I like it, because teal's a nice colour. I'm sidetracking here. Behind them is a gaggle of two of the Audi of the Eggy, Louis Eggleston and Mark Sunderman behind him, another Ferrari. Half a second gap between the two of them as they're coming down and getting ready to go into Stavelot. So these two have been battling. Sonderman is the faster of the two from the last lap, 0.2 of a second faster. Almost 2.5 tenths of a second faster, actually, come to look at it. He's got a bad exit at Stavelot there, so he won't be able to make anything now. But the name of the game is to just keep yourself ready, set yourself up here, and the straight, to set yourself to make a move on the camel straight.
By the way, look how the car in 12th position, so the car of Mark Sonderman, is so clean compared to the car of Louis Eggertson. I don't know what he's done to that car. If he's got some clean X, he needs to share that with me, because I want my car that brand spanking clean.
Oh, he's got egg on his face, hasn't he? That's why. The egg's just taken everything. I mean, I've been waiting for an egg pun. I'm sorry.
You just sound so broken when you said it as well. It's like a computer machine just shutting down and having to turn back on again.
You said you looked so broken, then you could have. Yet then you just went with a computer machine. You had a great chance at an egg joke there, and you didn't follow through.
You got egg on your face.
You've got egg on your face after that. But Sonderman again, 0.2, wants to go for a look, decides no, I'll wait. We've had 33 laps. With the pace Matsuke has given everybody, we're looking at 39 laps. So there's 7 laps to go. I can't do maths. 7 laps to go in theory. So Sonderman does lose time around Brussels here, but then makes it up at the end of the track. So really has got some good top speed at the moment. But if he can just string together the first half of the lap, he would have this move done, and we'd have that P11.
So we're just on board, by the way, with the cars in 20th position, the car number 2 of Goldstagen. Car in 21st position, Cara Jacquelet, who's not being made move on by Josh Seymour, who is in 22nd, car number 24. The cars in the back are clumping back together. There's a few pockets of battles going on right now as the lights start turning on, as the sun starts dipping down and starts shading the track with an eerie dusk. Now this is where the track temperatures start dropping off quite rapid, because iRacing. But what is the track temperature at the moment, Craig?
It's still 21. It's still 21 Celsius. That's 69 Fahrenheit. It stayed that way. So I think there is still a little bit of sunlight out there. I'm watching this battle between Jalocki and Seymour with James Gold in front of them as well. Because what's interesting is Mark Bailey might be a second and a half behind them, but Tim Matsuke is 2 seconds behind them. So this is the issue right now, because they will be lap traffic soon, but they're all fighting for this 20th position. and then the losers get 22nd and 21st. But if Matsuke comes into this, is there going to be some bookending? Or is Matsuke going to suffer and bring Technow back into this race? And it's a horrible thing as Jalopy goes wide and yields the position. So Seymour now up to 21st as Giacolette. I butchered that one, haven't I? It will take 22nd as now Seymour wants to move on to James Gold. Hasn't got it yet, 0.4 of a second behind. But as they crossed the line, they were identical with 21.4s and 21.5 was that? Yeah. So almost identical, but probably about 300ths of a second. Can Seymour make a move as they come out of Radion?
Well, Seymour has to make a move and make it sick because there's this car, the car on your screen, the car in first position, the car number 8 of Tim Matsuke, who's been just dominating the race. He just got ahead of everybody and just stayed there.
Side by side, you'll see Seymour and Jalopy though. Seymour will take the inside, but he's not going to be holding it. Gold does make the defense there. Sorry, it's Gold, not Jalopy. Gold makes the defense there. Really good defense there. It does bring Giacolette into it, but not yet. But now Matsuke behind them. What do? You've got your blue and white, you've got your blue and yellow flags running. What do you do right now? And this is also bad for Matsuke because if Matsuke gets caught in an accident here, that's his race over. So, Giacolette does yield. That's good. That's good for Matsuke. Unfortunately, that's bad for Giacolette there in his battle. Might be able to use the slipstream to get on. They come out of Pujon into Le Fons. It's still Matsuke looking for a move. He will have to hold up. Where is Linus? Where is Linus? Words I've never had to say before, but I gotta say them. In fact, Matsuke gets past Seymour. Seymour went wide at Le Fons there, so that's okay. As Linus is now through Le Fons himself, so he's got a few more cars to go by. But the gap was 4.8 seconds. I'm curious to see what the gap will be once Matsuke crosses the line.
By the way, I want to do this impression, and I hope you don't hate me for it, but you know Eduardo?
Yeah?
Information to pit lane. Information to pit lane. There are 10 minutes left of the race.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. That's brilliant. Right, Matsuke, I want to see this. He did a 218.2 last lap. 219.3. That's how much he got held up. Now, what about Linus? He didn't really have much issues getting around the traffic. 218.8. Made up half a second. But now he's going to get past this traffic. He sees the traffic in front of him as he comes down the hill before he gets to Radion. That's going to be interesting. Actually, has it brought Molt into this now? Molt's still way back. So he's not really in this, 10 seconds back. But Matsuke did lose time there. Will that put a bit of fear in him? I don't think it will. But it does make you start to wonder.
I was just looking out. Where's Adam?
Adam?
Our
He's
boy.
sitting in P7, just crossed the line.
Oh,
219.167.
My scoreboard's pretty corrupt right now. It was showing this man Tristy Iglesias as P9, so I'll need to look into how to get to force iRacing to just broadcast all the cars, even though I've set it to max. Cristo is sitting P7 right now. As I go to him, he's aggressively attacking Radion. Please no attackerino. Cristo sailing down towards Les Combes. He had that incident near to the start of the race, 3 or 4 laps in.
Good work here from Cristo really for a recovery drive. I don't think
he's sorry to cut across, but he may be a pro driver, but he's sim and actual driving are two different beasts, because sim driving you have to learn the quirks of the sim that you're racing in. It's like that with any sim. R-Factor 2, Automobilista, Assetto Corsa, and Assetto Corsa Competizione, and of course iRacing. They all have their little foibles, and you need to learn them. And he's put in an absolutely great race, after only really recently picking up iRacing, so hats off to him.
I think I overheard him, he said that he picked up his rig before the 24 Hours of Nürburgring on iRacing. Pretty sure that's what I heard. So that was, what, a month ago? So to be where he is good, just for anybody on iRacing. But the fact that he's a pro driver, you would probably go, yeah, I'd expect it. But it's not as easy as you think to just get in a sim and do something. We've seen it before with the NASCAR drivers. 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson. Well, he couldn't do anything when he started in iRacing. And you got these guys that aren't top NASCAR drivers, and they race the feeders that would just dominate them because all they've done is sim racing most of the time. So Jimmy Johnson had to really work for it and really came out strong at the end of it. So does a couple other guys like the Bushes. So it takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but this type of field, when you've got, well, let's be honest, there's 4 guys at the front there that are really good sim racers. Matsuke, Technow, Stump, and McNish. So holding his own, really, for someone that's still newish to the sim.
We see the cursed car. It is there. Oh. The cursed car is on the screen. You know which one.
Oh, I think I can take a guess. Where is he sitting? I know he was a lap down early in the race.
He's sitting in 29th position.
So he's doing well. This is the car that nobody wants to drive, but everyone just is just in awe of it. Oh god, I've gone into the cockpit and it's not exactly nice to look at, I must be honest. Oh wow, I never realised the Ford GT3 cockpit looked like Flight Sim. Wow.
Which Flight Sim now? Are we talking about Flight Sim X? You know, the last one that was released, or are we talking about one of the in the early 90s where it's just 2D sprite images on the screen?
It really is 2D images, isn't it? Even the red lights on the master ignition and fuel pump. And wow, there's a cool suit button. And just also shows how old it was. Is that a button for H2O or is that a light for H2O? I'm not entirely sure, but loads of buttons on that cockpit. Wow, I've never seen this before and I don't want any more of this. I'm out. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to look at something that actually looks respectable to look in. Like, ooh, I don't know. Maybe a Mercedes? Actually, no, let's not, because with 2 minutes to go, McNish is making a move on Stump. McNish takes the last podium spot from his teammate there. Finally made the move while we're looking down. McNish had P3 from Stump. That's a bit of entertainment to get us away from that. In front of him is a teammate who's a lap down, which is Marius Janke. So should be okay there. Tech now is 6.5 seconds behind Matsuke. He has not made the most of that traffic situation there. So unfortunately, first and second look locked up. It's this battle here for P3. And there's some other battles down the field that we will be keeping an eye on as we almost come to the last lap.
3 manatees on the screen, by the way. Car in 23rd position. I think. What car is that? It's the. Come on, iRacing. Give me the number.
Ooh! You know we were talking about the amateurs. Harry Wills has caught on to Martin Pearson. So half a second gap. They've had to battle for P2 in the amateurs. So we got a battle for P3 in the pros and the overall rate, and a battle for P2 in the amateurs. And those for the amateurs have still got a lap to go. But Matsuke, as he comes around the bus stop, he will come to the start-finish line. We'll see the white flag raving. There is 1 minute 19 left in the race. This will be the final lap for some of these drivers, as there'll be others still left to catch, a load of them still left to go. So Matsuke takes the white flag. 7 seconds behind him is Tech now. And we will have to keep an eye on this battle between McNish and Stump. And at the same time, this battle for second place in the amateurs between Pearson and Wills.
Information to pit lane. White flag has been thrown. Last lap.
Oh, Pearson's gone wide. Pearson has gone wide. And now as they come down to Pujon, Wills will not be able to take advantage of that. Will have to slow down. But gotta be playing his mind now. Pearson's feeling the pressure. That little Ferrari's getting a bit hopped, and that's not because there's a McLaren in front of him. It's just on a twitch at the phone. He really is working overdrive right now, Pearson. Now these guys still have a lap left after this. They haven't seen the white flag, so this will be interesting. Eggleston is in the pits. What happened to Eggleston? Oh, he came out the pit. Sorry, no idea. Then must have been short on fuel.
So that is currently the battle for Pearson is in 10th position, so it is for the top 10. Somebody has asked us for P8 and P9, so the two buddies that are on our screens now. I think it's P9 and P10 with these guys.
P9, P10. Just with the other teammates battling it out. Ratchon and Iglesias. Looks like Iglesias actually does have the speed here. Ratchon has not been able to make any inclines on this this gap here. He was faster last lap, but the gap is half a second, and that's not going to make you a move as you come to Lake Coombe. So may get up to him, but I don't think he's going to be doing it here. It'll be a last straight thing. Speaking of last straight, Matsuke comes around Blanchemont. He will come to the bus stop. We talked about this 2 minutes ago, but he will take the checkered flag, and your winner of the first race of the RSR World Championship, the pro driver number 8 for Manatee, Tim Matsuke, takes the win.
An absolutely comfortable lead. Started first position. Or did he start? I think he
started first, stayed first.
Yeah, started first.
Now takes 2. And Liam McNish takes 3rd place after that battle with his teammate Malt Stump. Archie Forsyth will be coming to the line shortly to take P5, and then 6 seconds behind him will be John Hoggard. Adam Cristo is a long way away, so let's get back on this battle right now. What's happening with Iglesias and Radshorn? Nothing's happening between the two of them. Wills is still in this battle with Pearson and took the position. Did take, while we were looking at the leaders finishing the race, did take, I believe, looking at the replay, did he go around the outside of Lake Coombe? I'm just going to keep this replay right now. Around the outside of Lake Coombe goes Wills. Was there any touchy? Ooh, just a little bit, it's blinked for me, but he managed to make the move stick going around Lake Coombe. That's pretty impressive. He is now on the straight, he's now coming up to Blanchemont, a second ahead of Pearson. So Pearson's still in the slipstream. All Wills has to do is keep him safe, and he keeps P2 in the amateurs. Meanwhile, Rick Cohen has taken the win in the amateurs. We're more interested in this battle right now between Wills and Pearson.
Wills, by the way, his tires he's turning into Blanchemont, and the tires were just, you could tell that they were just giving up. He does seal the deal. 12th position.
That might be 12th position, but more importantly, that's 2nd place in the amateur. Martin Pearson will take 3rd. It's a fantastic final lap battle between the two of them. But doing that move around Lake Coombe was fantastic. It's a great play there.
Look at all these cars. Look at them just bunching them. Just celebrating the fact that they all got around and they all had a good time. Congratulations to Tim Matsuke, by the way, and congratulations to this guy, Adam Cristo, making his first appearance in the RSR WS and doing an absolute great drive. Started 4th, went back to 14th, and fought his way back up to 7th.
Brilliant drive. So I think really everybody has crossed seen the checkered flag now, so would be worth doing a rundown. So if we do the rundown right now, we did say Matsuke took the win, the pro drivers. So the top 7 are all pro drivers. Tim Matsuke took the win. Linus Tech now was a 7.5 seconds behind him. Liam McNish with his battle with his teammate, took P3, made up 3 spots overall. Matt Stump, his teammate we were talking about, started third, ran third all race practically, and then just at the end, just fell off there with Stump making the moves, with McNiff making the moves. So Stump take P4. Archie Forsyth, quiet race there in P5, started 5, finished 5. John Hoggard made up 6 places to get to P6. Adam Cristo, we talked about him already, went down the field and came back up with a P7. Rick Cohen finishes P8. That is your winner of the amateur division. With Tristan Iglesias behind him in P9, who's the pro. Pascal Radshorn as well, pro in 10th. And Sonderman 11th, pro as well. Harry Wills, the P2 for the amateurs, finished P12. Right behind him, Martin Pearson. He was also amateur. He gets onto the podium in a tight battle there between the two of them. Ben Smith takes 14th, amateur as well. Taylor Lane, 15th, amateur. Tom Johnson, amateur, 16th. Stefan Kurtzman, also amateur, 17th. And the other drivers are laps down. I'll let you get on with them.
So, starting with the first lap down is Jack Hills, a lap down. Louis Egerton. James... just gonna skip over that. Josh Seymour, Carl Jacquelet, Marius Zhang, Chris Miles, Jack Wells, Simon Marshall, Niall Butler, Mark Bailey, and we get into the 2 laps now. Joshua Mayer, Andrew Miller, then on to Christian Furs, 4 laps down. Ingo Lapsian, 6 laps down. Oscar Cooper, 8 laps down. Jonas Dreyer, 11 laps down. James Costa, 11 laps down. Chris Hamer, 12 laps. Matt Hetrick, 12 laps. Simon Dodds, 16 laps. Congratulations to him, by the way. He just kept going out. Kept himself going. Didn't give up. You know, he had a bit of damage, but kept going. Now,
Yep, also just to finish off as well, Van der Wedge, 19 laps down there in 39th. James Pearce was 23 laps down, as was Sebastian Ryan. Ryan Elliott, 30 laps down, and Adam Miles, 31 laps down. Harry Woodhead was 35 laps down. Isaac Barkley and Mick Anderson, 38 laps down. And Niels Backage, unfortunately, was in that first lap melee and finished the whole 39 laps down, unfortunately.
congratulations to everybody, by the way. Another clapping just for your own safety. Just a great pleasure to have you guys participate in this series. We are going to do a quick interview with the man himself who is sponsoring this entire series. So let's give it up for the man himself.
And here he is. So good evening, Mr. Hamer.
How are you doing, guys?
Not bad, thank you very much. So first of all, thank you for the sponsors, your SimRig company. Talk us through it, mainly more than anything, more about your company. I mean, we can talk about the race in a minute, but you are the sponsors, so we thought we'd also get you in to have a bit of a plug.
Yeah, so we kind of make two main rigs. There's the GT one, which is the 120/40 profile, and then you've got the kind of GTL, which is the prize that I think is for the AM and the Pro Series guys, which is the 80/40, which I heard you mention earlier. But yeah, it's all made in the UK, locally sourced from kind of Bristol, South Wales area, and then all either kind of sent out as a flat pack, or we can make them for them and send them out kind of semi-made. Most of the guys in this series who've got the rigs would have had them kind of pre-built, so they just have to add their own peripherals to it, and that's it.
Yeah, we're happy to see that the series is getting sponsors, especially with people who are homegrown with the actual series itself. It's good to have sort of a homegrown feel, if you get what I mean.
No, it's good. No, it's nice. One of the big things for us is to keep everything sourced from the UK, so no overseas components, just to support the local area as best we can. That's why we're really keen to sponsor a series, and especially one that Harry's obviously spent a lot of time setting up. and when T-Twisted as well. He's done a great job, so I thought it was only fair to provide some good prizes for the guys who are really fast, as you've probably seen tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Really fast times, yeah. Unfortunately, you had an incident. Didn't get to catch it. Didn't get to catch it. But
I made it through the first crash on the top of the hill, and then I think it was a few laps in, someone spun in a few cars in front and parked in the centre of the chicane, and I just had nowhere to go. They rolled forward and I caught them, and yeah, I spent 22 minutes in the pits.
But you got back out.
Yeah.
Raced. That's the important thing, is racing. I think you finished respectable 36th after everything, really.
Yeah, it wasn't
kept
too
racing.
bad.
Could have
been worse. The car, I didn't think the car was going to make it, to be fair. It was starting to slow down towards the end. I thought it was going to blow on me.
do you have any shoutouts?
No, just a big shout out to Harry for setting all this up and all the organisation. We had the easy bit for just providing the kind of prizes, and obviously good heads. Thank you to you guys as well. Great stream so far. I'll probably watch it after all this is wrapped up.
Just don't look at my fib in the middle.
but also just remember, we didn't catch you, so don't worry. You haven't been shamed, so don't worry.
But what about the first crash? Did you catch that one?
We did not, but I managed to get it on the replay, and
Nice.
it was very interesting.
Because it looked quite different from my view. All I could see was a load of smoke and cars parked all over the top of that place. I managed to get around it, so I thought, yeah, that's all right.
All I know is that two cars did a backflip because they couldn't avoid. They were unable to avoid. They avoided the track and fell into them. So
That's fair
yeah,
enough.
it was an interesting first lap there, but I think the stewards will be looking into that. I know that much, but
Yeah, no, I
all we know.
didn't really see it. I just caught up. I managed to get around it, so it was all right for me. But I seen a few of the lads got caught up in it. My teammate got caught up in it, but he managed to get away.
Oh, that's. I want to thank you again for providing the sponsors. Thank you for this interview time, and unlucky today, but I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, plenty more rounds, guys. Well, thank you for what you're doing, and yeah, we'll see you at the next round.
Thank you very much,
Next
Chris.
one. Thank you very much.
Catch you later, guys.
So, Rob, you're going to ask me a driver of the day, aren't you? Oh, it's tough because I've got to give a shout out to Taylor Lane. 30 positions made up, which is pretty staggering, I must be honest. But no, you know, I think I've got to give it to somebody else. Another amateur. I think I have to give it to Rick Cohen. In all due fairness, the winning amateur driver, to have that battle with a champion driver in real life, and not just the fact that it was a battle. It wasn't holding him off per se. He had to earn that position back. The fastest amateur driver, and when you think that he had pro drivers behind him who weren't damaged, he beat them on pace, and I think that says a lot. So Rick Cohen has to be my driver of the day.
I'll go with that as well. Rick Cohen on your screens here, battling said pro driver Adam Cristo. We again like to give a shout out to Nathan. You're not going to be my driver of the day. You're just a driver of the day in my heart. But Rick Cohen is our Rally on TV driver of the day for his absolute great battles with the pro of Adam Cristo. We hope he can make more races like he did. You can see here just the slow cornering, the slow-mo cornering. Just how you plant these cars is beyond me. But guys,
Such an interesting corner, by the way.
I know.
It's so fun. It's so tricky as well.
But guys, that is it for us at Rally on TV for this Wednesday. We will be back again next Wednesday.
Well, next Wednesday we're back with the RSR. We'll be in America. The 60 minutes of Watkins Glen. So that'll be promising to be fun with the GT3s. But reminder, This is not the only thing that we broadcast. This is one of our 3 flagships that we broadcast. Join us Friday night for the broadcast top split of ILMS, which I believe they are also here at Spa. So that's going to be fun. We're going to see some more Spa racing. I do like a bit of Spa. And then as well, if you want even more of us, we'll be back Sunday with the Fanatec GT1 Challenge, which I have to promote the hashtag Make GT1 Great Again.
And I can't round it off any other way than that. That was perfect, Craig. I'll give you credit for that. Guys, that is it from me, from Craig here, and from Radiant TV. Until next Wednesday, we'll see you. Hope you have an awesome evening. Hope you have an awesome week. Have a safe weekend. And take care, guys.